Should Georgia be part of the Six Nations is a huge question which has been asked across the world of rugby, and today I'm going to try and answer that question. So if you do enjoy, like the video, comment your thoughts down below and subscribe. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, so don't forget to subscribe. It's free to do. Hit that red button down below. So Georgia are currently ranked 12th in the world, and they've never been lower than 23rd. So they've always been in that top 20 bracket. And they currently play in something called the European Rugby Championship, which is a championship for Tier 2 nations in Europe. So the likes of Russia, Romania, Georgia themselves, Spain, Germany and a few others compete in this competition every single year. Now between 2008 and 2016, Georgia have won it every single year quite comfortably. In 2017, Romania got the title, but this year they retained their title, got it back, and they won it in 2018. But what about the World Cup? I don't think we can look at that championship that much and say, yes, they're good enough for the Six Nations. I think we need to look at their performances at the World Cup. So at the World Cup, they've managed to qualify for every single one since 2003. But they've never managed to get out of the group stages, and in every competition had only managed to get one win. But in 2015, they managed to get 2 wins, yes, against Tonga and Namibia. But with New Zealand and Argentina in their group, it was never going to be easy, and they did give the New Zealanders a really good game, and also the Argentinians. But what about their top players in Europe? Are there players who play for the national team, who play in the top leagues in Europe? This means that their side will be better, that they get exposed to better rugby and to greater players. So who is there? Well, there are 2 players who currently stand out. A former player for Georgia and one who currently plays for the side. The captain of the side today is Giorgio Nemzadze, and he currently plays for the Ospreys in the Pro 14 as a lock. Not a starter, but he's in the squad, comes off the bench a lot. He's there on a short-term deal. But the one I think you'll have heard of most is Mamuka Gogodza, the number 8 for Toulon. He has 71 caps for Georgia, but is now retired from the national team. But he, back in 2010, was named the best foreign player in the top 14. So he is a top player, very, very great leader, and he was named man of the match against New Zealand back in 2015 in that World Cup game. But what are their results like against Six Nations opposition? Now, they don't face them that often, so I've just gone with their most recent results. So against Wales, they played them back in 2017 in the Autumn Internationals and lost 13 points to 6. Now, Wales did put out a weakened side, a younger side, less experienced side, and it wasn't a classic by any means. Against Ireland, they played them back in 2014, so 4 years ago now, and they lost 49-7 at the Aviva. England then, they faced them in 2011 in the World Cup and they lost 41-10. Scotland, they played them in 2016, so only 2 years ago now, but lost 43-16. And then they played France over a decade ago in 2007 and lost 64-7. But what about Italy? I haven't mentioned Italy yet. Well, something very exciting for Georgians is coming up. On November the 10th, 2018, Georgia will face Italy to see if they're good enough. I think it's a great opportunity for them. Yes, it's just a friendly match, but what an opportunity this is for Georgian rugby. And I think if Georgia can go out and put a really good performance in it and beat Italy, I think it'll state a big claim for them possibly being part of the Six Nations. Now let's remember where Italy were when they joined the Six Nations. They were not as good as what Georgia are now. And you see the development that Italy have made. They've managed to win against Ireland, against Scotland, against France, of course, and against Wales. They've managed to get some big scalps in the competition. And yes, they probably are the weaker team at the minute, but you just got to look at the regional sides to see the development and how much better they've got. The likes of Treviso are competitive in the Pro 14. They're not walkovers anymore like they were when they joined originally. Zebra the same, are not walkovers anymore, but I think Treviso is the standout team who are making big impacts in the Pro 14 but also in European competition. So if Georgia were to join, you'd expect them to develop. Some of their players you'd expect maybe to come over to Britain to play in the clubs in Britain, so some in the Premiership, some in the Pro 14, etc., just so that they will improve. Am I in favour of relegation system in the Six Nations? No, I'm not. I don't think it'd work because I couldn't imagine a side like England getting relegated and then playing in the European Rugby Championship. It just wouldn't work financially and a load of other reasons. It wouldn't work. But I would be in favour of seeing Georgia join the Six Nations and compete every single year. So if you finish bottom, you finish bottom. But I think it'll mean a competition for Italy. It'd also mean that Georgia then are playing against the best nations in the world, year in, year out, against their best sides. Because when it comes to the autumn internationals, it seems that, for instance, against Wales last year, we put out a weakened side against the Georgians and we managed to scrape by. But if you put a good team out, it'll make it a bit more interesting. But those are my thoughts. I would love to see Georgia in the Six Nations. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. 100 subscribers, we're coming for you. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Peace.